The merchant who learned the true power of Allah's mercy, Hazrat Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, timeless wisdom. Imagine being offered gold beyond your wildest dreams, but only if you betray your honesty. Would you accept it? This is the story of a young merchant's son whose life changed forever, teaching us the true meaning of faith, hope, and Allah's mercy. You won't believe what happens next. The sun dipped low over the dusty streets of Kufa, painting the city in hues of amber and gold. Among the bustling markets and crowded lanes, a young merchant named Salim walked briskly, carrying his small leather bag filled with the little goods his father had entrusted him. Salim was only 20, yet his eyes held the weight of responsibility far beyond his years. He was the son of a modest trader, a family known in the city for its honesty and integrity. Though their wealth was little, their hearts were rich with faith. Salim had always been taught by his father that honesty was worth more than gold, and patience was a treasure no thief could steal. But the world outside Kufa's walls was not as forgiving. Every corner of the market was filled with merchants eager to make profit, even if it meant bending the truth. And today, Salim was about to face a challenge unlike any he had ever known. As he arranged his goods, a man of fine clothes approached him. His robe shimmered faintly under the sun, and a ring adorned his finger, a sign of wealth, power, and authority. He looked at Salim with a scrutinizing gaze, as though sizing up the boy's soul rather than his merchandise. "You are Salim, son of the merchant you seen?" the man asked, his voice smooth and commanding. "Yes, sir," Salim replied, bowing respectfully. "I have heard of your honesty," the man continued. "They say you never cheat a customer, never tell a lie. Is this true?" Salim nodded, feeling a mixture of pride and unease. "I strive to be truthful, sir. Allah teaches us to be honest in all dealings." The man smiled, but it was not the smile of a friend. It was the smile of someone testing boundaries. "I am impressed, and that is why I've come to offer you something extraordinary. Gold, more gold than you could ever dream of. Enough to make your family rich for generations." Salim's heart skipped. Gold, wealth beyond imagination. His father had always wished for comfort, for freedom from the struggle of everyday survival. Salim imagined a life without worry, without the constant fear that the next market day might bring loss. "And what would I need to do?" Salim asked cautiously. The man's smile faded, replaced by a sharp, calculating look. "Simply lie. Say something untrue to the people. Tell them that a certain product you sell is superior, when in reality it is not. You are known for your honesty, Salim. One word from your tongue can make all the difference. Do this, and the gold is yours. Refuse, and you remain as you are, poor, honest, but forgotten." Salim's hands trembled. He wanted to believe that his faith could guide him, yet temptation clawed at his heart. He thought of his father's eyes, the countless nights spent in prayer for his children's safety and sustenance. And he thought of Allah, whose mercy was infinite, yet whose punishment could be severe for those who turn away from truth. He remembered the words of Hazrat Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, who once said, "He is the wisest and the most knowing man who advises people not to lose hope and faith in the mercy of Allah, and not to be too sure and overconfident of immunity from his wrath and punishment." Salim realized that he stood at a crossroads. One path glittered with worldly allure, the other with the quiet, steadfast path of righteousness. "Sir," he said finally, his voice steady despite the storm within, "I cannot lie. I cannot deceive people for gold, even if it means poverty for my family." The man's eyes narrowed. "You are foolish, boy. You do not understand the power of wealth, the security it can bring." "I understand," Salim replied, "but I understand more the value of my soul before Allah. Gold cannot save a heart that is burdened with sin." The man's expression hardened, and he turned on his heel, leaving Salim trembling in the market. For days after, Salim felt a weight pressing on his chest. He feared poverty more than he feared anything else. His neighbors whispered, saying that he had lost his chance to prosper. Even his father looked at him with concern, wondering if his son's honesty would bring hardship upon them all. Yet, despite the fear, Salim prayed. Every night, he poured his heart before Allah, asking for guidance, asking for strength to remain steadfast. "O Allah," he whispered, "if I have done wrong, forgive me. If I am on the right path, strengthen me. Let my heart remain true, and let your mercy shine upon us." Days turned into weeks. Then one morning, as Salim prepared his modest stall, a crowd gathered in the marketplace. Curious, he approached, wondering what had drawn so many people. And there, standing in the middle of the throng, was the wealthy man, this time looking disheveled, anxious, and fearful. "I have been wrong," the man confessed, addressing the crowd. "I sought to corrupt a young man's honesty with gold, but I have seen my own errors. And now, I bring blessings for those who remain truthful and faithful. Salim, come forward." Salim stepped forward, cautious but attentive. The man handed him a sealed letter. "This," he said, "is a decree from the governor himself. For your honesty, your unwavering faith, and your courage in the face of temptation, your family shall receive protection, wealth, and respect. The market will favor your goods, and no one shall cheat or harm you. Allah's mercy has guided me to make amends." Tears filled Salim's eyes. His heart swelled, not with pride but with gratitude. He realized that the greatest treasures were not gold, nor silver, nor worldly power, but the blessings that flowed from Allah when a servant remained true. His father embraced him, whispering words of thanks to Allah. From that day forward, Salim's life transformed. His goods sold quickly, but never at the cost of honesty. His neighbors came to him for advice, inspired by his integrity. And though wealth came to him, he never let it blind him, never let it make him forget the mercy and guidance that had brought him through trials. Salim often reflected on the man's words, on the temptations of the world, and on the quiet wisdom of Hazrat Ali. He understood now that fear of Allah's wrath and hope in his mercy must walk hand in hand. Too much arrogance, too much reliance on one's own cleverness could lead even the strongest heart astray. And too much despair could blind a believer to the miracles that Allah places quietly along the path of the faithful. Years passed, and Salim became a figure of respect in Kufa, not for his wealth, but for his heart. Children would sit near his stall, listening to tales of honesty, patience, and faith. Merchants would pause to hear his advice, and travelers would come seeking blessings from a man who had learned the balance between hope and humility. And every evening, as the sun dipped behind the horizon, painting the sky with the same amber and gold of his youth, Salim would kneel in prayer. He would whisper a prayer for his family, his city, and every soul who struggled with temptation and fear. "O Allah," he would say, "grant us strength to be honest when the world tempts us, patience when we face trials, and hope when despair seeks to take root. Let us never forget that your mercy is greater than any fear, and your guidance is clearer than any darkness." Salim's story spread far and wide, reaching even distant cities. People were inspired not by his wealth, but by his unwavering faith and courage. The wisdom of Hazrat Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, had come alive through his actions, teaching that life is a test of balance, between hope and fear, between courage and humility, between the temptation of worldly gain and the eternal reward of steadfastness. And so, in the streets of Kufa, in the hearts of its people, and in the story whispered to children before sleep, Salim lived forever, not as a wealthy merchant, but as a testament to the mercy, guidance, and infinite wisdom of Allah. His story reminded every believer, do not lose hope in Allah's mercy, and do not be too sure that you are immune from His guidance and His wrath. Both are real, both are powerful, and both are lessons to carry through a lifetime.